today.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the fantastic Friday, the August 21st edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that, well, is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what those bulls and bears, those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But much more important than that, during this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered there too. You can send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Please send it early with internet service providers and so forth. You might send it out 20 minutes from now, and maybe I don't get it for another 20 minutes, and then I don't even see that there's a message there. So send it, steve@tfnn.com, and inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. And in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on fantastic, fabulous Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now we got the Dow up 106, the S&P's up 4, NASDAQ is up 55, Russell's down 17, semis are up 10, the New York Stock Exchange is off 35, trannies are up 31, gold's off $2, silver 46 cents, light sweet crude is back $1. Lead the charge to the upside, it is Tesla. It's up $84, trading at $20.85. Nvidia's up 22, trade down at $5.08. Apple is up $18, that's nearly 4%. Chipotle's up 16. Chimera Therapeutics is up 12, trading out at $32. To the downside, leading the charge at Shopify, led by, which is $15, Amazon 13, Pinduoduo is off $11 or 11%. Mercado Libre down 13. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals off 11. So there's plenty to look at. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. There are many questions in the queue here, some left over from yesterday. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the general markets. What are we looking at out here? Really an interesting market. I alluded to it as I was doing the 1 o'clock update out there. So. And what I was alluding to, let's just come back and take a look at it, step back a little bit more in detail. So the New York Stock Exchange, first I'll pull over the chart. We'll take a look at it. We're trying to get a feel for the general breadth of the market out here. The topping pattern that is in play out here, there's really two of them that are in play inside the New York Stock Exchange. The first one, excuse me, there goes a lot of COVID germs all over the place. I'm not even wearing a mask. I apologize for infecting you. In any event, back to the marketplace out there. We can see letter G, that is wave number 7. That is a topping pattern. It's a very small portion of the Chapman wave pattern. Also, we can see that price was moving higher, doing less relative energy. Yesterday, there was a gap to the downside in the New York Stock Exchange, and that gap confirmed the Rhodes momentum indicator pattern. So there are now two patterns for tops for the New York Stock Exchange. Well, how are we going to know if the New York Stock Exchange has changed its trend? Very simple. This is the number you write down on your pad of paper, your forehead, wherever it is you want to write it down. Although writing it down on your forehead, that would be really good if you could do that. But 12,648.89, that is the number where the New York Stock Exchange most recently broke out. If price closes below that level, I'm not talking today, closes below that level, then 11,963. So price is pulling back to a breakout level, not with any kind of volume, not with any kind of pattern. Forget the volume. Now with any kind of pattern, it's still well above it. 12,778 is where we're printing. 12,648 is the breakout level. So as long as price is above the breakout level, there's nothing that has been broken inside the New York Stock Exchange. Yes, it has a topping signal. But in order for a topping signal to really have some momentum, we must see it bust through key levels of support. For example, the Russell 2000, I believe, is taking on a key level of support as we speak right now. But back to the New York Stock Exchange. In the New York Stock Exchange, if we take a look at its advanced decline oscillator reading, where is it? It should be right here in front of me. Here we go. Now, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline oscillator reading, really sort of like it sounds. It's based on the advanced decline line, which I just went ahead and put that in on the screen out here. That's going to be panel number 2. And really, it was at an all-time high not that long ago, within the past couple of weeks out here. Now, this data, this advanced decline data, is then taken and interpreted using the oscillator. The oscillator, the difference between two things. Here we use exponential moving averages, 19 and 39. When that reading, the difference between the 19 and 39-day exponential moving average of the advanced decline data, when it gets down to minus 150, that's when people should be looking for bottoms inside the New York Stock Exchange. So the New York Stock Exchange, the general breadth of the market right now is suggesting that you do not enter into a short position. Now, not that it can't get to a more oversold reading. It can. That's the point, is that we're not even the New York Stock Exchange. When I say we, price is not even back to a breakout level, which we just looked at, that TD9 breakout level. And even if it gets a little bit more oversold, it's just moving back to that breakout level. It's signaling to you and I that now is not the time. That's a New York Stock Exchange message. We have different messages out here for each market. If we take a look at, I mentioned the Russell 2000. Here, the Russell 2000, it's a very right-hand panel, bullish structured profile. Price closed right on it yesterday. We can see that price is pulled back today and it's trading below that. Okay, cool. Here's the problem. There's an A to B equals CD pattern. There is a Gartley buy pattern inside the Russell 2000 that seems to be setting up. Now, it's setting up, but it needs a bullish reversal candle. Today's candle is not a bullish reversal candle, at least not yet. So price may target a lower level. Maybe it's going to target the 1 to 1.272 or the 1 to 1.618. Those would be 1532 or 1517 in the futures contract. But there is a Gartley buy pattern, folks, is nothing more than an A to B equals CD correction in a market that has been moving in one direction that you wanted to catch out here. So the Russell 2000 is signaling to you and I that that's the pattern that is in play. Doesn't get confirmed. If we don't get a bullish reversal candle, guess what? No Gartley buy pattern. But it is something to pay attention to. It's especially something to pay attention to as we get these readings from the New York Stock Exchange. Now, the S&P 500, different animal out here. This different animal shows that yesterday, 2 days ago, I apologize, was a Rhodes momentum indicator top bearish engulfing candle, albeit a small-bodied candle that was prior. Nonetheless, it still is a valid topping signal, unless the S&P 500 closes above 33.9954. If it closes above that, well, then it negates that pattern. But that's not where it's at right now. So you got a valid topping pattern inside the S&P 500. If we take a look at the ES Mini, there's no key levels of support that have been broken. That level of support would have to be 33.42. Price right now is trading out at 30.98. No, 30.98. What am I smoking out here? It's right now it's at 33.86, and the top of the box is 33.88. And the market breadth data is just slightly negative as we speak. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll come right back. We'll finish this off and then take those questions that have come in so far.
If you're not currently using the Taz Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The Taz Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. We've got 7 questions in the email queue, one in the Tiger's Den. So let me get to some of these here, and then we'll come back to the markets. So the first one was from Bill from yesterday. And Bill says, wants to take a look at SPCE, which is for a short-term, wants to take a look at it from the short-term and the long-term standpoint. So we'll just take a look at daily, weekly, monthly out here. It's really just going to be primarily the daily and the weekly out here because it's a relatively new IPO. This is Virgin Galactic Holdings out here trading right now at $16.97. Below the bottom of its bullish structured daily profile. So we need to go see if there's any kind of bottom pattern forming out there. A price on a weekly basis, Bill, is traded back into a level of support. The level of support in the weekly time frame ranges between 1554 and 1688. Price is at 1697 right now. That is the bottom of its bullish structured profile. So let's pull space, SPCE, over here, and we're really just focused in on the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, what we know is that today is going to be bar number 6. It's going to be wave number 6 as well. That's letter F on my screen, and its breakout level is 1495. So it is very possible that between Monday and Thursday of next week, Bill, that this will form a TD9 count pattern. What you're going to be looking for is bars 8, 9, or bar following 9 to be the low of that pattern, and preferably above the price point of $14.95. And if you get that, then what you should get at a minimum is you should get a test of price in Stevie's red line, the oscillator and change line, which is currently trading at about the bottom of its daily profile, right around the 1875 level. The reason we should expect that, now that test could unfold before Thursday, and so you could see a counter trend rally into that because that line changed colors just 4 trading bars ago. And when it does change colors out there, it tells us about an eventual hookup of price in it. Now, going in your favor, just simply from a short-term trade standpoint, if you can get the TD9 count pattern and it's above the prior breakout level, then it's worth taking the trade. It may be worth the risk out there. You'll have to make that determination, and your price target becomes Stevie's red line at that stage of the game. If pricing close over it, then you stick with that trade. The trade turns into maybe a little bit longer term trade, a little bit shorter term investment or what have you. But that's what I would be taking a look at. The long term right out here doesn't matter until we get this daily chart pattern to give us some type of a bottom signal. So thanks for waiting an extra day, Bill, and I hope that helps you out. Have a great weekend. Hector and the fuel injectors wants to back up the truck, I believe, and the truck he's talking about is the UPS truck. Now, I don't know that to be the case. Let me actually read his message. He says, happy tanker, thirsty Thursday. Of course, I may not be reading that. Yeah, yes, tanker. You did say tanker. So where would be the back against the wall entrance into UPS? So if we take a look at UPS, it's trading above all profiles, daily, weekly, and monthly. So this thing is in breakout mode. The question is, do we find any kind of a topping pattern out here? And then if we do, where is it possible that would be a good entry level? Well, what we can see out here is we do see a TD9 count pattern, but bars 8, 9 or the bar following 9 were not the high. Clearly, there's an A to B equals CD, and that pattern here has been confirmed, and this was confirmed back with the bearish engulfing candle session on August the 11th. So the breakout level would be 145.59, Hector. That would bet, I don't know if price will get back there out here, but that would be the area. I'd be looking between 145.59 and 148.90. Now, let me just see on the weekly chart, is there any kind of signal out here as this has been moving higher? Nope, not a thing. So no topping pattern there. So doesn't say this has got to pull back. Oops. On the air. Am I on the air or did I miss a commercial? I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Segment B. I think I'm still on the air. Okay. So when I take a look, sorry about that, folks. When I take a look at the monthly time frame chart out here, yeah, it's got wave number 7. It's got letter G. But as we take a look at the weekly right here, yeah, I'm not buying it as being a significant top at this stage here. So Hector, yeah, if this is going to pull back, I'd be looking at the breakout level of 145.59 out there. Hope you and Patty have a fantastic weekend. And we'll look forward to hearing from you, I hope, on Monday of next week. Marty writes in, and Marty says, what do the charts say on rigatoni, R-I-G? And so let's go take a look at RIG. Transocean Limited is obviously what we're taking a look at. And so RIG is trading below its daily structured profile and right into the bottom of its weekly structured profile. Now, geez, I've never seen this before. Oh, I haven't. Okay. So that's really interesting. That's actually kind of pretty cool. I've never seen this before. Wow. Look at, I know you're all saying, what is it that you're seeing, Steve-O? We want to see it too. Here's what I want you to look at. Look at the data boxes. So those square little boxes that are in the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame out here. And I want you to look at, see where I've got top, CTR, BOT. Those are representing the top, bottom, and the center of the profiles. The center of each of these profiles, the daily, the center and the bottom are the same, $1.52. The weekly, the center and the bottom are the same, $1.36. The monthly, the center and the bottom are the same, $1.41 out there. When both those are there, that should be really strong support. So, Marty, the decision about what is TransRig doing is really about interpreting the charts and seeing where price closes on a weekly time frame and close below 136. That's now the low of the center and bottom of all three of these. That would be bad news. Now, bad news may be just trading back to the prior low. I don't know if it is bad news, just only trading back to the prior low, the week of April 27th out there at about 76 cents. But let's go take a look at rigatoni out here and see if there's anything else that Marty should be paying attention to. Well, today's going to be bar number 7. of a TD9 count. When this last bottomed out here, it was bar number 8 of the TD9 count, also was creating a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom as well. There's also another TD9 count bottom way back here in June 29th. That led to a rally, got to wave number C, that's letter G, and now a back off. So I would say Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, rig could be identifying a bottom. So let's look at it back then. Look at it then, too. Back then? Back then? Oh, fire up the tequila already, folks, really, because it may be my speech pattern will be slightly better. In any event, the answer to Marty's question about rig is we need to come back to take a look at this next week. But watch that buck, what did I say it was? A buck, $1.36 level, which is where it's trading right now. You got to close below that. And then at least that 9-count pattern should unfold out there. So thanks, Sig, for waiting an extra day on that. Hope that helps you out. David H. writes in. And David writes in and says, I'd like to see what your charts say about DHT. So let's go take a look at DHT, see what DHT even is. DHT, it is a DHT holding. So that tells us a whole heck of a lot. Doesn't matter. This is an independent crude oil tanker company. What are the prospects of this returning to the weekly highs of 865, enjoying all that you and TFNN offer? Well, David, we're really happy to hear that. And David is from Tomball, Texas. I don't know where Tomball, Texas is, but, with Google, I could find out right quick. But let's just take a look at DHT Holdings. And the question specifically is, will this get back to 865? Well, it's trying to clear resistance. And resistance for the daily and weekly time frame, David, are approximately the same level. 630 on the daily, 634 on the weekly. Right now, price has resisted that level. Closes above that, well, that'll get you closer to the 865 level. But we're not done yet. We come back from this break, we're going to finish taking a look at DHT Holdings for David in Tomball, Texas. Be right back. Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archived workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, the Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Folks, so we're taking a look at ticker symbol DHT Holdings out here. We know that it's up at resistance. The top of a bear structured daily profile, that's at 630. The top of it's a bullish structured weekly profile, that's 634. And the center of its bullish structured monthly profile, which is at the 621. So really at a resistance level out here. David's wondering, will this get back to 865? Well, what we're really trying to figure out is, hey, it's up at resistance, which is natural. To be up at resistance doesn't mean it's going to turn back down and go, although it can. We're looking for topping patterns out here, but it's upper resistance, so it's struggling at the right place. Now, let's go see what patterns might be out here. And we're really kind of focused on the daily right now for you. So on the daily time frame, what the charts are suggesting to you and I, David, is that price is going to make a run for 674. Now, look, we know that the resistance levels have to be cleared. So if they are cleared, then that's going to go ahead and make that run for 674. Will it get through 674? I don't know. Today's bar number 6 of a TD9 count, very much like the other instruments we were looking at, if you get to bar number 9 before price gets to 674 or right around 674, guess what? Probably it turns back down and it doesn't get back up to that level. If it can close above that 674 level, again, we're going to have to still see if that TD9 count pattern is out there. That's the weekly. I'm on the weekly chart out here, David. So that's the weekly time frame chart, the 674 level. So that's saying about this is 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks potentially before that would give you that topping signal out here. On the daily chart out here, it's about 652 is your resistance level. And I'm not seeing anything to suggest that price shouldn't get there other than the resistance areas that you and I looked at. So even if price clears the 630 area, you've got resistance at 652. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. Have a fantastic weekend. Speaking of fantastic, let's go out to the city of brotherly love and speak to the brother that we love. And that is John from Philly. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
You are a master poet.
You know it, don't you?
Steve, would you please help me with the NASDAQ 100 index, the NDX?
Yeah.
Specifically, with your Fib Expansion chart work, the stuff that you do with your very long-term charts,
yes.
Are there any numbers that pop out on those charts of yours that are up here in this or near the vicinity of today's high, 11,562? That'd be my question, please.
So nothing. Well, here, let me do the Fib numbers here from a monthly standpoint. Let's get the Fib Expansion tool going here, folks. And what we're going to do is we're just simply going to use the high from February of 2020 to the low of March. That's our major area. And what we have there is the 1.618 expansion is 11,568. We're trading at 11,528, and the high so far 11,562. So you do have that expansion there in the NDX 100. And again, we're taking a look at the expansion of a set of swing points. What you also have up in that area is a monthly horizontal trading range for the NQ. So here, when we take a look at these, folks, this is work that was originally, or where I got the work from, was from Bud Rolfs, but he was doing everything manually. I've automated that system, so it is different, slightly different than the way that he used to do it. Nonetheless, these horizontal levels act as floors for resistance and support. And so the level inside the NQ on a monthly basis, granted the month is not over, only the 21st, but that number, John, is 11,564. So you have two areas of resistance that the NQ, well, one area of resistance, the NQ, longer term, this is a monthly chart we're looking at, and then the NDX 100 was the expansion of a set of swing points. The expansion of a set of swing points for the NQ is likely different than what we looked at inside the NDX 100. So when we take a look at its swing points here, it has just a tad higher to go, which is 11,699. So it's really, we're in that range, so to speak. So does that answer your question?
It does. And as I'm looking in Tiger TV,
yes,
I noticed the 2000 peak and the 2002 or 3 bottom. And I'm just wondering, is there anything that pops up here based upon those numbers?
So from an expansion standpoint. So if we take a look at that, I may have to go into my tool and modify it a bit, but let's go see. So the answer to your question is yes, a 2.618 expansion, which is 11,495.
That you have that great toolbox of historical data and the very flexible charting system to allow you to do all those calculations. That is exactly what I was asking for, and how interesting that there's a little cluster of projections that come in kind of close to today's high. Interesting.
So if we were going to try to time it, John, then what we would do is we'd come take a look at the daily time frame chart, and we'd say, okay, we've got these areas of, we'll call them chart resistance out here. And we know that today is bar number 7 of a TD9 count. And we do know that on bars 8, 9 to the bar following 9, we can see a top, very much like we did back here at the top in the NDX specifically. Now I'm looking at the NDX 100 back on July the 13th. So if this is going to identify a top, John out here, that should occur either on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week. So from a timing standpoint, we're looking at, I'd say, sometime between now and the end of the month, which when is the 31st? I know the
Monday.
31st is on the 31st, but
that's a Monday, right?
Okay, so not next Monday, but the following Monday. It's going to be kind of interesting, especially as we move into fund buying time frame and so forth. But from a timing standpoint, if those levels you and I identified are the resistance and the short-term topping area, it says that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday is when we should see that in the NDX 100.
Great. Steve, thanks so much. You have a good weekend.
Hey, you bet. Good to talk to you. You have a great weekend as well. So since John was talking about the NDX 100, and yes, there are still some questions that I have, but it looks like I've got about a minute out here. Let me see how quickly I can do this. Really, there's so many people that say, hey, this market is all about 6 stocks. Well, if that's the case, I'd say it's 8 stocks. Then my job just got a whole lot easier. And so did yours. We only have to track 8 stocks. So what are those 8 stocks? Well, those 8 stocks represent 52% of the NDX 100. The first one being Microsoft, 11.17 as of last evening. Does this have a valid topping pattern in play? Yeah, it's this bear sash candle from a couple of days ago. And as long as price stays below its high, by the way, is 217.64. That pattern will remain in play. Right now, price has found resistance at the top of its daily profile. Apple is 11.15% out here. Well, Apple's going to be in bar number 7. So much like the NDX 100, if it's going to top, and it's got a Rhodes momentum indicator signal, it would probably be Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, but no top just yet. If we take a look at Amazon out here, does Amazon have a top? It does. It created a TD9 count, Rhodes momentum indicator pattern back here. It looks like on July the 13th out there, it's 9.74%. So its top is still in play out here. So Microsoft has a top, Amazon has a top, Apple does not have a top, Google does not have a top. Google is only going to be in bar number 3 of a TD9 count. It represents between the two positions out there 8.29% of the NDX 100. We've got 20 seconds to go. Facebook is got a top out here, 4.3%. We'll come back to the last 3 instruments when we get back from this break.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, to folks. Now, the first 4 instruments, we're looking at the top 8 holdings inside the NDX 100. Since this is what's propping up the market, you and I really only have to track 8 stocks to figure out what the market is doing. And that's a beautiful thing. Whereas a lot of people are complaining about that, Steve-O's saying, can you make my job a little bit easier, please? I mean, because this works pretty well. Now, the first 4 instruments we looked at, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and Google, even though 2 of the 4 had topping patterns, that was Microsoft and Amazon. Google and Apple do not. All 4 instruments prices trading above Stevie's green line. Green line is a price oscillator above 0. When we trade above Stevie's green line out there, it tells us we have a rising price oscillator, and that's a bullish. And says even if you've got a topping signal, price still may make a run for that high again. Well, that's the case you've got here with Facebook. Yes, it's got a valid top, but price is above Stevie's green line. So it's not as if there's a key level of support that is broken inside of Facebook. That's why it doesn't look like the NDX 100 has topped today, or at least no signals that is the case. If we take a look at Intel, well, Intel had that big gap to the downside a couple of weeks ago out here. This does have a confirmed Gartley buy pattern. It's got a couple of bullish candles out here. Even yesterday was a gap to the upside, but price has not been able to get above the center of its bullish structured profile at 49.92. So it's sort of a suspect Gartley buy pattern. It's a Gartley buy pattern nonetheless, but I don't know if it's one I would step into. And the reason is because the semiconductors I believe we looked at yesterday, still have a topping pattern. So the sector is saying, maybe not so fast out there. NVIDIA represents only 2.2%. It happens to be the seventh weighting when we combine Google into two Google shares into one out here. And today's going to be bar number 8 of a TD9 count. So this has the potential for a topping pattern. Wouldn't know that until Monday. But, of course, it could be the high on Monday or Tuesday. That would be the high of this pattern. So this does not have a topping signal as we speak right now, and that is NVIDIA. And if we take a look at Cisco to wrap it up, 2.07%, big gap to the downside 5, 6, 7 days ago. Looks like price might be targeting 41.22. But this is more likely setting up a bottoming pattern, a TD9 count, that it is a topping signal out there. But these would be, in essence, the 8 instruments that represent over 50% of the NDX 100. Of course, it would be helpful to have tools such as understanding its market breadth. Well, if we take a look at its market breadth, this is the NDX 100 right now. Let's get it up on the screen. It's bullish for weekly, daily. It's slightly bearish for the 240-minute and the 60-minute time frame. But daily and weekly still remain very bullish out here as we speak. Okay, so that's what can we conclude at this stage here? Let's just keep tracking those 8 instruments. It should make it easy for us to just pay attention to those and see, 2 of them have already cracked, but they may be forming bottoms. That's the dichotomy that's out here. But the other 6, we still need to see tops in Apple and inside of Google and NVIDIA, maybe not a big deal, only 2%. Mike wrote in, in Sarasota. I think Mike's in Sarasota, Mike is in Sarasota. And Mike's question, I guess I confused him. He says, a McClellan oscillator oversold at highs? ? Yeah. I don't get it. What's the message? The message is that it's oversold. Now, it's highs out here, Mike, just to be fair. The high really in New York Stock Exchange, that took place back in January of 2020. So, but yes, it's got this nice counter trend rally. I just want you to focus on the bottom panel of the screen here. Bottom panel of the screen is showing you, and you see some arrows. I haven't updated it for a while. You'll see some divergent patterns that are out here. I'm just really the point that I want to make, and I'll just follow my crosshair and price. And when we get down to the minus 150 level, I want you to notice that you see the New York Stock Exchange makes bottoms. Last time we were in the 150 level was back in June. Around June 26th. Then we, during the March timeframe, we broke to, extreme oversold readings out here. There was actually a divergence bottom pattern that formed out there. That's typically the way that bottoms will form with the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Decline Oscillator. That was making a higher low, and price was actually making a lower low in that Advanced Decline Oscillator reading. If you come back out here, so before the New York Stock Exchange back around February the 3rd, before the big top, Mike, and price would just come slightly down off of the highs. That advanced decline oscillating down to minus 150. What do we get? We got a bounce out there. If you come back in here into the time period of October of 2019, gets in the 150 level, what do we see? We see a nice rally that unfolds. Come back to August 6th, it gets down below 150. Reading, what is it, minus 146, minus 223. What do we see take place out here? A nice bounce. So, look, as far as where price gets to and whether that's much of a retracement off of a high or not, it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter when it comes to using the minus 150 level of the advanced decline oscillator reading to communicate to you what it's intending to do. So there's folks out there that talk about the broad market. Every now and then I've got the TV on, the boob tube on. Rarely am I listening to it. It's just almost more like in case there's some kind of breaking news. Of course, these days, everything is breaking news, which basically means there's no news. They just make up the news to find something that's breaking. But in our case here, back to the breaking level, what we want to do is we want to just simply focus on that minus 150 level. And is this the time to start jumping in on a short position inside the market? If the wider swath of the market that people complain about because they're like, the wider swath of the market doesn't mean anything. Now, this is not a conversation that Mike and I are having. This is a conversation I'm having with the boob tube people out there, because you get it. you look at this stuff, you realize that, look, trading is emotional. As emotional as you can get because it's got your money that's tied up into it, okay? And then people talk about emotional BS stuff out here. When you and I spend the hour together, if I'm going to make a conclusion, you're going to see the reason why. And that conclusion is going to be based upon evidence. And it's going to be based upon a chart or a chart pattern out there. Not that they can't fail, but at least what you're going to have is the wind at your back, me at your back, me in that me in the hole with you, so to speak, out there. And then I wouldn't be jumping on a short trade here, knowing that the general market that most people are complaining about is saying, hey, guess what you're going to see inside the New York Stock Exchange? It doesn't mean it starts today. It doesn't mean it starts Sunday night or Monday. But it is in the oversold reading where the New York Stock Exchange would get a bounce out there. And there's not much else. You can ignore it. That's fine. I'm not going to do a show here and ignore it. There's not a chance, and you know what, that I'm going to ignore it. Okay, so now let's go take a look at what else are we not going to ignore. We're not going to ignore a question from Vicky A. So Vicky wrote in. She spent the time. She wrote in, so we're going to answer her question at least as best as we can. And Vicky wants to look at, she says, I want to take a look at Home Depot, HC, that's a ticker symbol, that's what we've got on our screen, which we can see today pulls back and tests the bottom of a bullish structured profile at 277.84. Let's finish reading the question out here. You're thinking of taking a position in Home Depot due to the approaching storms in the Gulf. Is Home Depot a TD9 count top on the weekly chart? Where's resistance and support on Home Depot? Okay, support, you've got it right now, 277.84. Resistance, 282.97. And you're at 281.36. And I don't know if that resistance will get taken out or not. We'll take a look at the patterns, answer your other questions about the TD9 count when we get back from this break. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, and hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So for Vicki in Houston, we're taking a look at Home Depot. Her questions, or two questions are, she's thinking of buying this because of the storms that are brewing out way east of me that maybe make their way into the Gulf, maybe not. One is further south. One, I think, is, well, in any event out here. You want to know where support is at? We gave that to you, 277.84, resistance 282.97. I don't have any kind of a daily topping pattern out here. The ultimate buy on Home Depot would be 263.84. So any close below 277.84, 260.83, 263.84 is what you should expect. You asked specifically about a TD9 count on the weekly time frame. This is going to be bar number 7. So the high couldn't, if this was going to identify a top, that couldn't take place until next week, the week after, or the week after that with regard to Home Depot. So thanks so much for writing in. Much appreciated. Looks like we're going to finish this off. Bill writes in, and he wants to take a look at FDX out here. So we've got just enough time to take a look at it with my white background charts. Where's FDX and BJ headed toward as resistance? Thanks. Well, we can give you FDX. So price is moving higher, doing less relative energy out here. It's got a valid TD9 count top out here, and that took place on August 17th. So in order for this to keep going higher, you need to see a close above 211.56 to negate that pattern. So 210.89. It's really kind of neutral. It's between resistance, the topping pattern, and support. It's daily oscillator unchanged line. On the weekly time frame out here, what do we have for FDX? This is going to be wave number 7. That's letter G. And it's going to be bar number 8. So this could be approaching a top out here with a weekly TD9 count and a potential. Well, you actually have you've got a confirmed topping pattern out here. There was a shooting star I now see on March the 4th, and that high is 210.94. So it's trying to form a top out here, but it hasn't been able to break through any levels of support. If you're long, I would still remain long, but I'd keep an eye on this thing and watch for key levels of support. That first key level, about 207.65, give or take. So, folks, thanks so much for being here for the entire week. Even if it was just Fantastic Friday. And have a fabulous weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you on a magical, magnificent Monday, a marvelous Monday as well. And to be safe. Take care, folks.